It's time for a Senior Citizens Forum. I'm your host, Janice Wood, and a Senior Citizens Forum is being sponsored by Benefits for You Too Insurance Services, where they specialize in Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and prescription drugs. Medicare is for people 65 years of age and older, and for people under the age of 65 that have certain qualifying disabilities. But today I'm here with my guest, and I consider him my friend.
Absolutely.
We've been together for about 8 years.
Yes.
So when I say we've been together, he's been my physical fitness trainer for about 8 years, and I knew him before that. And as we were talking earlier, time flies by quickly. He's been doing this for 20 years. I know Drew has been this stand-up.
Comedian.
Yeah, comedian. He likes to dance.
Swing dance.
Right. He's a newlywed.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And when I started working out with him, I was already a senior. And he was saying that a lot of his clients are coming into that range. So, and I know he's worked out with people, it's hard to believe, older than me.
Yes, quite a bit older.
Yeah. But we're going to talk today about why is it so important to work out?
Well, I mean, there's so many reasons, but let's start with number one, it's a great stress reliever, not only mentally, but physically. The human body was designed to move, and it's just one of the ways it releases stress is through movement and through exercise. So there's that. There's obviously, it helps you get stronger. Again, not only physically, but mentally. The more you work out, the more confidence people tend to have in themselves. It improves your self-image. It obviously helps with weight loss. As you get older, it helps big time with balance and also bone density. It helps to prevent heart disease. It increases your circulation. I mean, I could go on and on. There's countless benefits.
It's countless benefits. So I know as a senior, sometimes things hurt that didn't hurt 30 years ago or 10 years ago. And Drew has been with me where I've had things just go wrong, okay? And when things go wrong, it's hard to move.
Yes.
It's very hard to move. And I can tell you, it's hard to move. And I've had sicknesses like COVID, and I get to the point I call him up and going, help me move.
Yes, you miss it when we're not able to work out.
And yeah, help me move because I've got to get stronger. And it takes time when you're sick. I've had a knee surgery, and he's been with me through this whole progress of getting the knee to move, okay? And that's a whole thing. Arthritis, if you have arthritis, which is common, I mean, I know young people in their 40s that have arthritis.
Sure.
Okay? But as we get older, it's sorry to say, we're like our cars, things wear out.
That's the metaphor I use with people all the time, where I say, think of yourself, your body like your car. When you first get your new car, very little maintenance, an oil change here, maybe some new tires there. As the car puts, metaphorically, as you put more miles on the car, then the maintenance increases, where now, I need brake pads, or I need to for people, I need to work out more to really stay in shape, or I need to do yoga to become more flexible. You have to just do more maintenance. And I recommend, in many ways, daily maintenance, if not physical fitness or exercise, things like stretching every day, or foam rolling most days, or icing some days after a tough workout. So that maintenance comes into play.
Yes, and I'm bad at icing, okay?
You're not the best. You're not
the best. Now that it's going to get warmer out, I'll be a little bit better about
Most
ice.
women do not like to ice.
I do not like to ice, okay. But these are things you have to do. Now, if you don't know what a foam roller is, we'll show you in a little while what a foam roller is, okay?
Good idea.
Because may not know. We're all at different levels physically. For my age group, I'm probably at a higher level.
Absolutely.
Than most people.
You are 78 now?
Oh, yeah, getting close to 79.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, so you're definitely at the upper echelon of your age bracket as far as your fitness.
Right. So I'm fortunate enough that I'm able to work out with a trainer. Not everybody believes that working out with a trainer is important. So I'm so funny because I have a relative who could afford to work out with a trainer. He totally thinks he can do this on his own. When I go and stay at his house, he has all the equipment because he doesn't live near here. Okay?
But it's gathering dust.
Yeah. Well, it's not gathering dust. He uses it, but I look at him and I'm going, oh my God, his form is wrong.
Right.
Okay? What are you doing? It's a waste of time, what he's doing. But he's just not going to have a trainer. But there are things that you can do on your own to help. And even if you've never worked out, which I know I work with a lot of seniors, and I know they've never worked out. And if you don't have that stability, which is the most important, because what do most seniors die from is a fall.
Sure.
So that stability is so important, and I think that's one of the things that I work a lot with Drew on. It's not that hard to do.
Well, I think it's important to mention too that despite the fact that we're here at my gym, Janice and I really don't work out here at the gym. Ever since COVID, we've been doing our trainings via FaceTime and Zoom. So she has constructed her own little gym space in her house, and we train 2 to 3 times a week over Zoom. So that's a thing people need to know, because some people just feel like they can't get to the gym, and many trainers, including myself, are now offering online training, which is, it's not as good as working in a gym, but you can get a lot done in your home if you have the right trainer and a decent, you don't even need a decent amount of equipment, just the basics. And that's what we do, and we get a lot of great stuff done every week.
Well, just even having a bottle of bleach.
Right, you can use things around the home. People got very creative during COVID, during quarantine, and it is spilled over to now where most people now can get their hands on some equipment, but sure, you can use, I had clients during quarantine that were using a backpack full of books to lift. They were using bags of rice. They were using big water bottles, like gallon water bottles, or even smaller ones for bicep curls or shoulder presses. So you just have to get creative, and most trainers, any trainer worth their salt nowadays, if they have a client who wants to work out online, would be able to help them with that.
Yeah, it's really great. As he was talking, we work out online together. There are trainers that can come to your home. I have a friend that has someone that comes to her home. But last week I came to the gym to work out, and there was a difference.
Sure.
There definitely was a difference, because he worked me out harder here at the gym than I do at home.
Right.
But
it's a bit of a commute for you, so I understand.
Yeah. But I don't live around the corner from the gym. So, and we just came over here, coming over here today took a while with the traffic, because we came surface street. So it was like lots of obstacles in our way. But the benefits from working out, even if you're just never worked out in your life, okay, you're saying, okay, I haven't done any of this since high school, you still can do it very slowly. If it's a matter of going in your cupboard and taking out a small can, let's say of tomato sauce,
Sure.
you can still go very slowly
Sure.
and work out. If it's finding that line across the floor or outside in your driveway.
Just walking a straight line to work
Walking
on
a
your
straight line.
balance. Going for a walk. That's one of the best exercises you can do on a daily basis that's not too strenuous. Going
Yeah.
for a walk every day. Sure, things around the house that you can use. Just even practicing getting up and out of a chair multiple times in a row. Being able to get off the floor. We do a lot of work with older people. Just being able to get off the floor. A lot of my clients who've been with me for a while now, they now have grandchildren. And that is one of their biggest requests. Drew, I need to work on getting off the floor because I'm up and down on the, up and down off the floor every day whenever I'm babysitting my grandkids.
Yeah.
And so that's, functional training, which means training for actions and movements that you're going to do in your everyday life. So I work with people on that too.
Oh, I as I said earlier, I had knee surgery. And one of the things that frustrated me is that I wasn't able to get on and up off the floor because
Right.
if you fall, are you able to get up off the floor?
Right, that's another reason, not just for grandkids. You want to be able to get up if you
Right.
fall so you can take care of yourself.
Yeah, I understand the grandparent thing totally.
Sure.
But
you're
even,
a little past. Well, no, actually, yeah, you might get that at some point, right? With Sean.
well, with Sean, but I also have my husband's grandchildren.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So like they're 4 and 2.5, but I wanted to
Yeah, there you go.
make sure I was strong enough to pick them up.
Yeah, pick them up and get on the ground and play with them. Sure.
Yeah, but just to be able to pick them up and say, change that diaper. If you can't pick up 8 to 10 to 20 pounds, it's really important to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
And one of the things I have to show off, excuse me,
Sure.
I always tell him my arms are by Drew. So remember, so remember when I take off this sweater, okay, which is an old lady thing, okay?
It's a nice one, actually.
All right.
So
And
78 years old.
I'm 78 years old.
Make that bicep muscle.
Yeah, and I have a
Make that bicep muscle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Both of them.
There you go.
Yeah. And the tricep, because we always talk about
Yes.
this stuff here, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah, but it's the muscle. On that one, it's the muscle underneath that matters.
But I still
because
can-
that is tough.
But it makes it better than,
Oh, absolutely.
than having
Absolutely.
that. But if you're working with your grandchildren, you got to be able to pick them up.
That's biceps right there.
I-
Well, biceps, lower back when
Yeah.
you're leaning over, all that.
I can remember, this is a funny story. I was with, I think it was about 8 months old, my grandson, and they live on a farm. And they put me in this lower chair with him, and there was nothing but pebbles underneath me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I gotta get up, but I was afraid I was going to drop him.
Sure.
Because it's not like picking up a weight.
Right. It's
I mean,
like a
they're
sack,
wiggly.
It's like a bag of potatoes that moves.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there going, I gotta get up. But it was really a low,
Sure.
low chair. This type of a chair, I have no problem because he makes sure I get up and off the chair, which is real important. One of the things I'm gonna go back to is my knee surgery, okay? There are things that I was able to do in physical therapy because of working out before my surgery. It was simple for me to accomplish,
Yes.
okay?
It's important.
It was very important. And then, now, of course, we're still working out. The knee still has to be worked out.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
everybody's body is different and it does different things. But we're going to take some time now, and we're going to hear from Arash, okay, who's going to talk about scamming and hacking and how to protect yourself. So we'll be right back with you in a couple of minutes. Hi, Arash.
Hi, Janice.
How's it going?
Great. Another day.
So I know
We're
last
ready.
week we started talking about social media.
That is true. We talk about social media.
Yeah, so we're going to talk more about social media. And we talked a little bit last week about when you went away and how your people
For sure,
publish where
yeah.
they're at and what they're doing.
Yes, that's we talked about it, that not very secure to share your things. You know, if you want to put a picture, those are normal these days. But what we were talking was, do not share your location. Say, I'm not home. Oh, we're going from.
Well, I like it that have that map
Exactly.
where it says,
Sure.
I just
I'm
traveled
moving
from here to there.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
Then we get to the point that it's very important to have complicated password plus multi-factor.
Right.
All social media, technically everything now that you put the multi-factor, because again, multi-factor these days is like password 20 years ago. So you definitely need to have the second layer.
Okay.
So why we said that, we have a couple examples even in our business that they came to us and said my Instagram was hacked. They put information that I don't want to put. I mean, it's not me. And they just shut down my account. And they contacted in Instagram, Facebook, those platforms, and they said, no, we cannot bring it back. You don't have any information anymore. You don't have your password. You don't have anything. Everything changed, and we shut it down. So, and you say, what about all my things that have been saved? You know, lots of memories, pictures. I want those. And they said, sorry, we can't do anything. So, two things we learned. Number one, make it very secure. Number two, if you have important things on your social media, make sure you save them somewhere else as well. Do not rely your social media as your storage, cloud storage. Means, for example, I upload my pictures and I say I delete it from everywhere else, and I'm going to keep it on my social media. That's not a safe place that's a safe place as long as you have secure, but I always keep it in the second storage place. But let's get back to the security point. So once you have all those information set up, same concept, try to change your password like every year or every other year, however platform you have, but make sure you update those passwords and make sure you save those passwords somewhere safe, either in your notebooks, traditional way, or password management, newer way. And when you keep it there, so now you have a system that you have a password management app or notebook that you know exactly where it is and who has access to it. We talked about it in the last session. And then you have social medias that you have secure password plus multi-factor authentication. Now, one thing about that is when you save those information properly, make sure when you log in, if it's in your computer again, log out. If it's on your phone, that's fine, because your phone, especially iPhone, Android, they have the layers of security. You can lock your phone, all these things. Those are apps. You don't need to log out, log back.
Well, that's great, because that's information we haven't had before
Yes,
about.
but on your computer, especially Windows users, please log out. Make sure, again, we repeat it in each session. Restart, log off from your computer once you're done for the day or for lunch, for your long breaks. If you go somewhere for 10 minutes, bathroom, eat something for 5-10 minutes, you don't need to log off. You can lock your computer. And we talk about that as well. But in general, to just wrap it up, social media is a very important part of our lives these days. So it's very important to have good passwords, good multi-factor authentication, good system. Do not share very important stuff like your locations. So let everyone know that you're not home, especially for people that have many friends that's, that not very close, because then it's going to be public, it's going to be shared. Very important to keep those information as private as possible, because it can be bad and it can hurt.
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
Yeah.
And one of the things I want to talk about, and we'll probably go into this more in the next segment about social media, is that you can be scammed through social media.
Yeah.
So that's a subject that I would really like to bring up, and I think we'll talk about that in our next segment,
For sure.
which is really be interesting.
Definitely.
And one of the things is if you're watching this show for the first time, you can catch all of these other segments on a Senior Citizens Forum from previous weeks. It's all posted there.
Yep.
Thank you,
My
Arash.
pleasure. Have a great day.
You too.
Take care.
Thank you, Arash, for those great words of wisdom. I know we're all bothered every day with scamming calls and hackers and worrying about all of that stuff. So we'll look forward to hearing from you next week. But I'm over here with Drew, and Drew is going to demonstrate in the proper form how to do a couple of exercises. But before we get started, I want you to realize you don't have to have fancy gym pants to do this. You need to have some pants that are comfortable. I would say this is an old blouse that I pulled out that I don't want to get rid of, so I'm wearing that. You don't need anything fancy. But if you're going to spend money on anything, make sure you have the proper shoes on. Really important to have good supporting shoes, because even when you're younger you need good supporting shoes, but as we age those shoes are even more important, and we're lucky we're in an age where the shoes are becoming more stylish than they have in the past. So get really comfortable shoes. It works, but I've been in tennis shoes and going to gyms for a way long time. So Drew, show us a couple of cool exercises.
All right. Thanks, Janice. So I just wanted to show you a couple exercises that you can do at your home. This is obviously a piece of equipment in my gym, but this bar is about the height of your kitchen counter, maybe a little higher. So two of the things you can do in your home that are very basic exercises, as long as you don't have any very dramatic shoulder or knee injuries, are push-ups and body weight squats. So if you're in your kitchen and you want to use your kitchen counter, right? You want to just step back a little bit. Make sure that your butt is tucked under so you're not sticking your butt up in the air as you go down. And you can put your hands right on the counter just like this. Come down to about 90-degree bend in your arms and then just push away from the counter just like that. And so basically it's an elevated push-up. It's a little bit easier than a knee push-up or a regular push-up. It's definitely way easier than a regular push-up on the ground. And it's just a way you can work your chest, the front of your shoulders, and your triceps. Really pretty basic exercise. Again, as long as you don't have any rotator cuff injuries that you have to worry about, it's a great exercise for you to do at home. Another thing you can do, and this again, you can either use a counter or anything in your house that's about this height that you can hold on to a little bit, and you can do squats, okay? So even if you have some basic knee soreness, if you do a squat where your feet are very close to the counter and you just grab the counter and you kind of just sit back, but you use the counter to hold on to, it allows you to keep your knees behind your toes, keep your feet flat, but your weight primarily in the heels, and then you just come down to about a little above 90 degrees, sitting almost like there's a chair behind you, and then you can stand right out of that. And as you do, you want to focus on pushing through the heels and squeezing the glutes, but it's also working the front of your thighs, your quadriceps, and also the back of your thighs, your hamstrings. So those are two basic ones, and then I'm going to just show you one more in a moment. So one last thing I just wanted to show your audience, Janice, is foam rollers. There's different types, different textures. Some are softer, like this one, which I probably would recommend a softer one for your audience.
Yes.
Because the blue that's a little harder is a little challenging. And basically the black one is for masochists, if you will. And so anyway, I just wanted to show you that there are different types. But what you do with a foam roller primarily is you use it to self-massage. So one thing you can do is just come onto the roller like this and roll things like your thighs, roll those quadriceps, the side of your leg, which is an area you can't really stretch. You can roll the side of your leg. You can even use this for your back. It's a very good way to sort of work your body by yourself without having to use a masseuse or a massage therapist. And then lastly, another alternative to that is one of these Theraguns. And these are really great. You've probably seen athletes use them on TV, but this thing is just, it's got a little thing that almost like a thumb, like a fast moving thumb. So these are they're really available nowadays on Amazon, things like that. Any questions you have about them, your audience can contact me. But anyway, that was just some self-care things in addition to exercise that I wanted to share with your audience. All right, cool. Those are the funny. Oh.
Okay.
Oh wait, we gotta come back.
All right. So one of the important things about if you're going to work out with a trainer is what to look for. And because this show is shown all over in different parts of the world and all 50 states. So what should somebody be looking for when they're looking for a trainer?
Well, I think especially for your audience, which is an older demographic, I think it's really important that they look for a trainer that is very technique specific. I've been doing this 20 years, and I'll never forget when I first started training, I was at a public gym, and there was a trainer I was watching, and he wasn't really watching his client, and I think he had just been doing that job for too long, and his heart wasn't in it anymore. And I was a new trainer, but I knew certain basic technique and form on machines, and his client wasn't doing it correctly several times, and he wasn't correcting her. And so I remember thinking to myself, I never want to get to that point, and if I ever do, I'll quit. So anyway, I've been doing this 20 years, and all my clients will tell you, you included, I'm sure, that I'm very specific when it comes to technique, not only for effectiveness, but also for safety, especially if I'm dealing with an older client. And nowadays, most of my clients are 50 and above, if not 60 or 70 and above. And so a trainer that is very specific and focused on your technique is, in my opinion, one of the most important things. Also one that definitely works with your limitations. So if you go to a trainer and upon first interview they don't ask you, have you had any injuries I should know about, or what are your limitations, or anything like that, that's a big red flag, because they're not taking into account your personal history and your personal life experience. They should also take into account your age. I had one woman who came to me, and her first session, she said, "You were a referral, Drew, but I want to make sure I'm not going," she was 47, 48 when she first came to me. And she said, "I want to make sure you're not going to make me do box jumps on my first session." And I said, "Why would I do that?" And she said her last trainer, she's like 40, at that point, 46 years old, she told me. First session, her trainer had her do box jumps. And she's a 46-year-old woman who hadn't worked out in a while. So watch for things like that, where they're not taking into account your personal experience, your age, and your personal condition is very important. And then ideally, if you can get a referral from a friend, that honestly is the best way to go.
Now, I also would be looking at what their background. What is your background in working out? Did you go to college and take some kinesiology? I know there's a certificate that you can get from the American
ACE.
Yeah,
ACE. If it's still how it was years ago, ACE is like one you can get online fairly quickly. Yeah, you can ask them about their certification. Mine was a 6-month course, 500 hours in the gym, 500 hours in the classroom, so it was very detailed. But yeah, that's important too, for sure. You want to make sure that they're qualified. You can't legally train people without some certification.
Okay.
But there are people out there whose certification is a little lacking.
Right, and you want to make sure that certification's up there, because I know if you're not working out correctly, you could hurt yourself.
Absolutely.
And you want to work out with somebody, or maybe work out with someone for a short period of time, because we all have different budgets, that are going to show you the correct way of doing it, because all of a sudden you could be working out and finding out, oh, I can't even lift my arm anymore, because it could be something that you're doing with your trainer. And all of us feel differently about working out.
Well, in your first session or two, especially your first session, should be almost like an interview more than a workout. at least the first, let's say you're going to somebody for the first time for an hour, the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes, really you shouldn't be touching a weight or anything. It should be, they should talk to you again about any limitations or injuries you have. They should talk to you about what your current program is, if you're doing anything at all, and if so, what. They should ask you if you've had a trainer before. If so, what did you like about them? What didn't you like about them? Ask if, what your goals are. It's super important. And then from that, they should even look at your body and have you do some basic body weight exercises to see any things that are off kilter in your body. If you have a dominant side or something, or you have any issues that they can even visually see that you might not even be aware of, they should be able to determine that.
Okay. Now, one of the things I remember, and I'm seeing it right over here. It's in a different position. Okay. I remember the first time I came to work out with Drew, I was on the treadmill and working at a very low level. And Drew said to me, "What did you think is important about a trainer?" And this is going back to something that you said, because I have been a member of public gyms, okay, with their membership, okay? And my answer was, somebody's going to make sure he's paying attention to what I was doing. Because in a public gym, I was able to watch trainers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And you see their different styles. And some of them, just like Drew said earlier, they're somewhere else. They're not with you.
Checked out.
They're physically with you, but their mind is somewhere else.
They're checking their phone or something.
Well,
not good.
Right, which is not good, and we all are checking our phones. So
not when you're working out with me.
Not when you're working out with you, but as you work out with the trainer, you learn each other. Okay, and one of the things that I think Drew is, what I really love about him, is that he will, if I say something negative, he catches it. He always catches it. Because he's a comedian, he does it in a way that I don't find it offensive.
Well, good. That's good to know.
Okay. So he likes to keep me on the positive.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's real important. So when you're finding someone, you want to make sure they're treating you, telling you positively what you should be doing.
That's very important too, because I've had other clients come to me who said their last trainer, whoever he or she was very almost abusive, just really almost yelling or just saying, you got to do better. I mean, there's a difference between you can do better and what are you doing, and So I do try to keep everything on the positive tip if possible,
right.
For sure.
So, because sometimes when you're working out and you're being taken to the next level, which is always great. I love it when I get to go to the next level.
Of course, everybody. Well, most people. Yeah, everybody does. Everybody
okay.
Does. Yeah. You want to see that growth.
Sometimes you have to work hard to get to that next level.
Absolutely.
What is that old saying? No pain, no gain. I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, I'm not really fond, just because it's been a little abused, that saying. So
yeah. It's been abused, but I call it there's good pain and bad pain.
Yes.
And I have definitely experienced bad pain,
so
I know
knee
the
replacement.
difference.
That's bad.
The knee replacement
that's bad pain, but soreness from a good workout, that's good pain.
Yeah, but also, I may wake up in the morning and say this arm will hurt.
Right.
But if I exercise it
feels better.
It feels a whole lot better. Then I forget about it. Drew, this has been lots of fun.
It has. It's always good to see you in this context.
I know, because when we did this during the pandemic, we did it on Zoom. But I love the synergy that is built between two people.
It's always better in person.
Always. Even working out is better in person.
Everything's better in person.
But thank you very much for
My pleasure.
joining me today, and thank you very much for watching us. You're going to find Drew's information posted, and of course, you're going to find my information. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday at 2 o'clock. Bye.